Hello, class 4. Today we are going to learn the second part of chapter 4, Responsibilities of a Good Citizen. We have already finished part 1 and we learned about public and private property, and we also learned about taking care of school property. So now we are going to begin the second part. Caring for monuments. India is a land of historical monuments, and these monuments were built centuries ago. And can you name some of the important monuments? The Taj Mahal, Red Fort, Qutub Minar. Then we have temples, the temples in the south, temples like Lotus Temple, Jagannath Temple in Puri. Then we have churches, mosques. Do you know about Jama Masjid? That is a mosque. Then we have Gurudwaras like the Golden Temple in Amritsar. So these buildings were built many years ago by our forefathers with great care. And now it is our turn to take care of these buildings of importance for us. And why are these buildings important? These monuments teach us about our past. They tell us about the rich cultural heritage through the statues, coins, pictures, and other artifacts. These buildings also provide revenue for the government. The government earns revenue from these monuments, and the money earned is spent on the maintenance of these buildings. Now, every year so many tourists they visit these monuments from all over the world. These monuments are great tourist places too. So in this way the government is able to earn revenue also through these monuments. It is our duty to save these monuments from getting damaged. How do people damage these monuments? Some steal the expensive idols or things kept there. Some people they write their names on the walls, they spit here and there. So these things should not be done. Not only do these activities damage the buildings, they may put you into trouble too. Why? Because under the Ancient Monuments and Archaeological Sites and Remains Act 1958, people who damage historical monuments may be punished. So government may punish you, take a legal action against you. So we should take good care of these monuments and we should not damage them. And as responsible citizens of India, we should not only protect them, but if we see someone damaging them, we should stop them, and we should also inform the police so that they can come and take necessary action. It is our fundamental duty to preserve and protect the historical monuments. Now, we also have other kinds of public property. We begin with libraries. There are public libraries in most of the towns and even in many villages. These libraries have many kinds of books, and some of these books are very rare books, very expensive too. And all these books are bought using the money which we pay as taxes. So we should handle these books very carefully, just like we take care of our books. Do we take good care of our books? Yes, we love our books. So we should love these library books too and take good care, and we should return it back safely. If we borrow these books, we should return them back safely before the due date. We should return it before time or in time. We also have museums. Museums are also important public property. Museums have a collection of various artifacts of ancient times. These artifacts are displayed for the public to view and gain knowledge. They enlighten and educate us about our past. They tell us so many things about our past. These remains which are kept in the museums. The government spends our money to maintain them, so we should see that they are not damaged by anyone. Besides libraries and museums, we also have many buildings like government offices, panchayat buildings, telephone booths, electric poles, and ration shops, which are important for us. Any damage to these will put many people to great inconvenience. They will have problem if we damage these buildings. So we should take good care of these buildings and save them from any damage. Now the government also tries to save these buildings, protect these buildings, and it has different departments to take care of these buildings. The first one is Public Works Department or PWD. PWD, and together with buildings and engineering departments, they maintain the roads, bridges, parks, and other government buildings. Similarly, we have workshops to repair the damage done to buses and trains. If we have any buses or trains which need repair, they go to the workshop. The Archaeological Department of India maintains the old monuments, memorials, and buildings. But can the government do all this work all alone? No. They need our help. Government needs our help. So it is our duty to keep away or abstain from any act that may cause damage or loss to our national property. At the same time, it is also our duty, as I have told you before, to see that nobody else also harms the public property. And if they are doing any harm to these buildings, what should we do? We should stop them, and we should also inform the police. So by doing these or by taking these measures, we can help the government in protecting the public property. We move to participation in elections. India is a democratic country where all who have completed the age of 18 years have the right to vote in elections, and it is their duty to participate in elections, to cast their vote becomes the duty of every citizen who has attained 18 years. Now you must be wondering what democracy means. Why do we call India a democratic country? So the former president of USA, Abraham Lincoln, has defined democracy as the government of the people, for the people, and by the people. The government is our own. And who forms the government? We form the government by electing our representatives, and then these people, they work for the people, and they are formed by the people. So it is said that democracy is the government of the people, for the people, and by the people. Now India has a democratic country, and it is our duty to cast our vote in elections. And whom should we select or elect? We should elect qualified and responsible candidates, those who are going to help the country, those who are going to work for the country. And what work do these people do? What work does the government do? The government is responsible for the development of the nation. It enforces various schemes. You remember we learnt about welfare schemes? So the government enforces various schemes for the development of society and the nation. And earlier we used to cast our vote using ballot papers. The name of the candidates used to be written there, and we had to put stamp of our choice on the name which we wanted to elect. And now actually we did not have the name, we used to have the symbol of the party made on the paper, and we had to choose whichever symbol we wanted to uh, elect. So, do you know some symbols of political parties? You must have seen when we had elections in Dhanbad, you must have seen the hand for Congress, the lotus for BJP. These are called symbols of political parties. So, when we are voting, we cannot see the names of the candidates written there, but the symbol is made there. So, you have to choose the symbol which you want to, of the party which you want to elect. So earlier people used to put their stamp on the symbol, and nowadays we use the electronic voting machine. Things have become digital, just like the world is becoming digitalized. Similarly, these processes also are becoming better day by day. So, using the electronic voting machine, we are able to get the results in a very short time, and election has become an a easier job to handle, and it was very tiring and cumbersome and long process before. So with this we come to the end of this lesson. I have collected one or two more slides for you all. Now this one with chapter 3 and 4 together, we get theme 3 for your social studies book, and this theme 3 is responsibilities of a good citizen. We When we read these two lessons, we know about citizenship and their duties and responsibilities. So we have started learning civics, and we are sure to become good citizens. And who is a good citizen? A good citizen is one who is responsible towards oneself, one's family, society, and the nation. And it includes having civic sense, being a good neighbor, participating in the election process, and caring for public as well as private property. And why have you started learning civics? Just like you study value education, it is also important for you to know these things from now itself, because you are the future citizens of this country. And if you are aware of these things, you will become a responsible citizen, and responsible citizenship makes our world a better place to live. So think about all these things and try to inculcate these good habits, and then you are sure to become a good citizen of India. So, this is all we have for now. We'll be meeting again soon and discussing the exercises of this lesson. So, keep smiling, be happy, and be safe.